Hi, Mr. Asif. Welcome to today's podcast. We are thrilled to have you today as our guest speaker.
Thank you, Priya. Very nice to be on, and thank you for the invitation.
Definitely. So let me quickly introduce you to our viewers, to our listeners, to our community. Mr. Asif has more than 25 years of experience in an international experience, of course, and he's a seasoned CTO, CEO specializing in innovative transformation solutions, currently CTO at GoBazaar.com, and excels in driving operations, leading change management, and building globally diverse teams. Beyond that, he's a sought after expert, has collaborated with Reuters and served as CEO of My Learning Key Training Institute. His expertise spans operations, strategy, business transformations, and emerging technologies, making him adept at managing global operations and achieving growth targets. Indeed, I'm very excited to be in conversation with you. And before going ahead, I'll make our listeners, viewers a bit understanding of what we do at AdfarTech. So we are IT tech platform with focus on IT solutions, IT resources, recruitment, and tech audio. We have entered alliance with 50 plus tech partners, including SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, Salesforce, and many, many more. Our key solutions include ERP, application development, data, blockchain, cloud management service, and cybersecurity. We have resources based off 20,000 plus resources across all skills, which we can deliver both on site and offshore within 24 hours. At Adfar, we love to hear your visionary tech leaders, and we are very, very super immersed by your profile and experience, and make sure that 10 more than 10k plus of tech community will get some value, and will learn about your journey, your views on the latest tech innovation. So I'm excited to be in conversation with you, sir.
Thank you, Priya, for the intro, and thank you for making me part of this. Always, like I said, like you mentioned, I've been in the industry for long enough. I'm always happy to share my thoughts and views in terms of what's happening in the tech industry. I'm really passionate about technology itself and making sure that the message goes out to the next generation, what they need to look into and what kind of technologies they need to expose to, so obviously they can excel in their careers and skills as well.
Definitely. So, first thing which I'm really curious to know, how do you see the CTO's job changing in today's fast changing tech world? I mean, how it has evolved throughout the years?
To be honest with you, going back, say, say 10 years ago, obviously the CTO was the integral part of the organization from a tech point of view. Most of the decisions were made by, the technology departments, how to drive the technology with the business needs. But what I've seen over the last, say, 5 to 6 years, that tech CTO role has basically split into different areas. You've got the engineering department, you've got the marketing, and obviously you've got software development, and then you've got the information technology aspect as well. So I would say the CTO has to have wearing different hats nowadays, meaning they need to be aware of data management. They need to be aware of what's going in, happening into the market, and also from a marketing and a business perspective as well. Before, people were working in silos or different departments, and they would converge. But now, I think not even a marketing individual himself needs to know about technology, and the CTO, not just technology, needs to know about the business as well. So I think it's evolved in such a way that you need multiple of skill sets now, not just one area where you look after just one technology. You need to understand different aspects of the business as well.
Indeed, interesting. And I believe risk taking is a big skill when it comes to a business or a tech company, and calculated risk taking is even better. So, how do you make sure that the company's tech stays safe while trying the new things, while experimenting into the new innovation? So, how that safety part comes along?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a great advocate of experimenting. I obviously encourage my teams to experiment as much as you can. Because look, this world is evolving, and the technology is evolving so fast that if you want to keep pace, you need to introduce certain things into the environment. Yes, obviously, it impacts your existing business, and you have to take those risks to see whether you can bring efficiencies and where you can bring new skill sets as well. So based on that, obviously, you need to keep your existing business going, but introducing those risk elements where you say that's basically where you have to do the experimenting. So you need to allow, as a senior management and senior executives, the teams need to be exposed to certain areas where they have this ability, where they can experiment on certain things and share that with the company to say, look, if we try X, Y, Z, it'll obviously help the company to grow, or it might not help the company to grow, but it gives you the exposure in terms of what's happening in the market. So taking risk is key, and I feel that in my 25 years history, I've worked in different sectors as well, from education, from finance, from government as well, and I've seen this trend that people are becoming more. The risk appetite is growing. That well, they need to do that because of the trending technologies that are coming in and need to experiment to stay ahead of the market.
Mm-hmm. Also, can you let us know about something that you have learned from a big tech upgrade recently? Like you have been in the industry since so far. So, what are the new upgrades into the tech?
Well, in terms of upgrades, I wouldn't say. I would say we're trending elements. Obviously, everybody's talking about. If I go back 4 or 5 years ago, everybody was talking about blockchain, right? And then coming in the next couple of years, they're talking about AI. But all of these things, if you put them together, there's something which is key that which probably people do talk about in the market is data, right? So data is the key, and there's a trend, or there's a saying nowadays, data is the new oil, in this, especially in the tech industry. So based on that, having all these other technologies, you can't have AI without data. People talk about blockchain, and so it's all to do with security, but you still need to have data, type of thing. So data is one thing, and what I see in the next the last 2 years, 3 years, from a trending point of view, what's coming into market. Obviously, AI is a big story, and machine learning, and then with that, you need some heavy computing to do, like the what do you call it, the quantum computing. So all of these, putting these things together, is what people are looking into. Apart from that, there's multiple avenues you can look at in terms of green technology, right? Obviously, there's a lot of talk about green sustainability. Obviously, in Dubai, we're talking about COP28 coming up, where it's talking about sustainability, environment. But then technology plays a great role in that. There's new leading innovations happening in the energy sector. For example, so obviously, we've got electric cars coming up. We've got eco-friendly tech solutions building all around the world as well. So that's one thing. And then recently, the announcements from with like the Meta team, from augmented reality and virtual reality. This is a new world that people are exploring now. It makes, obviously, from a gaming industry, from education, and even from healthcare. Healthcare is going to be a big environment where AI and VR is going to take part. And that's going to excel, obviously, the skill set, and also help to make people more efficient going forward. But, and one thing I would like to stress, or like to say, is which has brought the biggest trend, I would say, is remote working. That was not. That was not. I'm talking about the GCC countries here. I think me coming from London, and I've been working there all my life, and then came to the UAE. I found that remote working initially was not a common thing. But from being an IT person, yes, we used to work from home or work from whatever we wanted, was fine. But the rest of the industry was way behind. But when pre-COVID, it was a taboo. But now, after COVID, people realize, oh yes, people are more productive, where they can work from home or they can do remote work. So based on that, I think innovation has improved in such a way that people are more productive with this remote working as well. So there's a couple of trends that you can be talking about. Well, I would say biggest one is data, AI, blockchain, edge computing, and then I would say remote work, which is quite trendful at this stage.
Because you mentioned the remote working, it's something that I, as an individual, as I, someone who belong to the new generation, really look forward to more evolvement of this. But I personally believe that as a leader, as someone who is, someone who holds an experience into this industry, needs to come up with more better ways with the new ideas, so that they can, put their employees, they put their teams work well together. So how do you make sure that the tech teams come up with the new ideas, work well together, even no matter at what territory, what city, what country they are sitting, but that limitation of not connecting well should be there. So how do you make sure that the connection is still there, that involvement for the idea generation is still there? So how do you make sure?
Well, I think the main thing is communication and
Uh-huh.
being very transparent with each other, right? Obviously, you need to give the autonomous to the team and give them the freedom to do certain things, right? Like we go back again, we talk about experimentation, right? If the team is aware that they can experiment and they've got the ability to do certain things out of the normal scope, and then obviously having that close communication with the team, and of a senior manager, I need to have trust in my team as well, and so based on that, I know that from my perspective that my team is delivering certain projects or delivering certain tasks, and they're also doing some experimentation. As long as that's communicated, could be online, could be offline, whichever way is, as long as we are aware what's going on, as a not working in silos, but working as a team. Even if I mean, I'll just give you an example in my scenario, right? Obviously, I manage a tech team, but I also work closely with the marketing team and obviously the sales team. But what we do, we have a daily, what we call it, a status daily call. In that call, I invite non-IT people as well. Even though it's a tech call, they might
Mhm.
be there for 15 minutes or 10 minutes, but it gives them an insight that what's going on in a tech world or what's going in a tech team, right? Even though it might not be related to them. However, while we are discussing things, there might be something that triggers in their mind, oh, hold on, from a marketing perspective, well, we need this feature or we need this element type of thing. And then whether the tech team can, build that or not. And if you reverse the roles while we're discussing these things, they might come up with an idea that we need, and we get to know what the business is required. So I think it's a bit of a collaboration between multiple teams and not working in silos. And irrespective of whether it's online or offline, there needs to be a clear channels of communication, either via email or WhatsApp, or I mean, or the online tools, like Zoom or Microsoft Teams, whatever it is. So I think the main thing here is communication. As long as you got that clear cut flow, that there's a communication between teams, I think there's a way that you can excel forward with the business as well as success of the product whatever you're working on.
I think it's very interesting. This is going to be a key takeaway for me as well. Like with the company that I'm working with, I really like the idea where you said that it's really important whenever there is a status call or a monthly call or a weekly call happening with the tech team. It's important that you even include the non-IT people, whether they're from the marketing and sales. So having an open communication, having the transparency about the product, about the work should be there. So each and every person in the community, in the company should be aware what the vision aligns with, and how we are coming up with the new idea. So I think that also really boosts productivity and creativity among the team. So I really like that a particular idea that you have
Yeah,
applied.
yeah. Also, it makes them part of the company. They feel that we're part of a team. We're not a part of a individual team. It's like
Indeed.
we're working as a whole environment, as a whole company, and we're moving that forward. So it's like a obviously, yes, we have our own sessions, individual sessions, but having that collaboration with the rest of the team, even if it's non-related to them, it gives them a sense of achievement that, oh yes, we are part of this group and we are helping that to achieve that service as well.
Also, what are the new tech that you think will be important for the companies in the next few years?
I think I touched on a few of them. Like I mentioned, AI is a big topic that everybody's talking about. I mean, it's still early days. People not too sure how to implement them. Obviously, you've heard the big industries, the leaders like the Microsoft, the Googles, and all that. They're bringing out their own solutions type of thing. But AI and machine learning, they're becoming, what would I would say, an integral part of industry, especially again from the healthcare to finance. It's helping to automate, it's helped to predict analysis, and also help to make decision makings as well. So that's one angle. People might say, oh, there's pros and cons of AI. Yes, there are, but I think at this stage, where people are still experimenting, and whether it's, like I said, people still have some ethical concern as well, how we're going to use AI, and whether it's going to replace roles and stuff. but it's definitely going to boost productivity. It's going to be definitely going to help to aid and provide efficiency. So that's one area. The other one, again, touched on earlier, it was augmented reality and like virtual reality type of thing. That's going to help in the healthcare and education environment. Again, companies are experimenting in education sectors where they can teach and educate. You can teach history, but you are literally immersed in the environment. With obviously people got headsets on, but you're immersed in the environment. And couldn't you imagine, just reading without, well, the way we were taught is, oh, you're reading books or you try to imagine, but now you don't need to imagine because it's going to be right in front of your face. So having that element of access to such technology is going to be amazing for the next generation. And then if you look from an industry perspective, edge computing, which is quite key, that's basically allow us to do processing in real time. Obviously we got from my industry as well that we manage a lot of data. And based on that, we can do processing on the source rather than from something that's in the cloud or something like that type of thing. So these are a few things I would mention. So AI, augmented reality, and what do you call it, edge computing. But I mean, again, I can go on for a few more minutes. There's multiple of trends depending on which industry you're working. There's 5G, there's blockchain, there's biotechnology as well, and health tech as well. So that's another area that people are looking into.
And I think our future looks more fancier, more comfortable when you talk about the new adaptation and evolvement of AI, augmented reality, and even to the healthcare segment. So I think we all look forward to have that crazy and amazing future that we have only seen in the Black Mirror or like visualized in the movie. So yeah.
It's a bit, if you talk about from the older generation, it's a bit scary for them. But if you think for the next generation, again, the teenagers today, they're already using some
excited.
Of the technologies, but but they're already using some of the technology, but they're not aware of it. But they already been trained. Obviously, people who play like, I don't know, Xbox or FIFA or whatever it is on PS5s and all that stuff, they're using they buy players, they sell players. That's like basically a bit of a blockchain and cryptocurrency environment in there, right? But when it comes into reality, for them, it's going to be a normal stuff because they've already had that experience in the gaming industry. Right. And then obviously they're wearing headsets to play games. So when it comes into the classroom environment and wearing headsets to learn, for them, it's going to be normal. So yes, I definitely agree. It's going to be an exciting times for the next generation in terms of making their life more, I would say, exciting, and it'll be normal for them. For people who are like a bit older, like myself, and we're in the tech space ourselves, but still, it's a bit scary how the world's going to adapt to these new technologies. But I definitely see a brighter future going ahead.
Understand. And also, can you share a quick story about a tech problem that ended up helping your company, or a strange problem that comes and ended up you gaining something big insight from that. So, any quick story, any quick case study that you can share about the tech problem?
Yeah, one I can share is like I mentioned, we're in the data space where we aggregate a lot of data from different online retailers, and what we found is I'm going to talk about a specific region, which is the Middle East. So what we do is we aggregate a lot of online retail data from all the Middle East and regions, and based on that, we do a lot of cleaning and massaging of that data to make it presentable to the consumer or the end user. So when we initially started and started to aggregating the data, we found that it was a huge, gigantic task in terms of the data that we have captured, because in this region, not all the retailers follow the standard procedures, what they do in, say, the Western world, for example, right? I'll give you one example. We captured electronics data, and one item is a smartphone or an iPhone, for example, right? So when we captured the iPhone from one retailer, that retailer might call it an iPhone. The second retailer might call it a smartphone. The third retailer might call it another name, so when we were gathering this data, and we found out, one product is being named differently from different retailers. It was a huge challenge for us. To how do we fix this? To when we present it to the consumer, if there's somebody searching for looking for an iPhone or a smartphone, we want to make sure that he gets that data. So it took us a literally 18 months or 2 years to fix this issue, where we had to look at different solutions. Again, looking at the AI models, looking at the machine learning on quantum computing, where we can use those processing powers to fix that, where we can manage and massage that data accordingly. Now we've come to a stage that we've built a platform where we have I would say 110% accuracy of data, where if somebody asks for a particular product, we can provide a particular product. And not only that, we can also provide market insights. So what we do, we like a bit of a stock exchange where we get live price data and we get live stock environments as well. So we can provide that general insights to larger retailers. So one retailer asks for a certain product or reports. I don't want to name names because these are quite large clients that we deal with. So one retailer who's in the market who sells online, and there's another retailer who sells online, but they want to compete with each other from product to product basis. So we can provide live reports to those guys just because of the data cleansing and the data management and inventory system that we built, which was very hard for us. And one of the examples, I'm going to give you another one, is beauty products like lipsticks. I myself or somebody in our team did not know anything about lipsticks and how many shades they are, right? It was such a amazing journey that we learned. So we had to build an algorithm or build an environment where when we do aggregate the data from beauty products and we pick a lipsticks, we can pick the shades. And if somebody from a consumer does ask about those products, we can give them the exact information they require. So it took us like I said, 2 years to build this environment and get these things right. But it was a huge management task. And now we are working with one of the largest retailers in the UAE to correct their own data, because it's a marketplace that they have and people put wrong information in the marketplace. So we are helping them to clean that data for them as well.
I think it's very exciting. This only led to the conclusion. Data is the new diamond of this evolving industry, I believe. So I think
absolutely.
Yes, I think it's worth millions. It's worth billions, as you mentioned, and it's going to change the whole landscape of advertising. How people are going to approach their community as they have more access to the of algorithm, right, data. So I think, especially the lipstick example that you have done, that how you have learned because of that particular thing. So it's pretty exciting, and I think I look forward for more of this.
Yeah, like I said, data and adding these technologies, which we spoke about, it obviously has helped to make things more accessible, and also help to design and build solutions that I think would have been taken 5 to 6 years. So we've excelled, obviously, that environment in 2 years. I'm sure new tools will be coming out, which we are exploring as well, and will help us to reduce that time effort, and then the efficiency will come out more and more.
Indeed. And Mr. Asim, just concluding it down, you last few things that I'm curious to know. So what are the current IT projects or the upgrades that you're heading to? What the future is going to hold? So what are the new exciting IT projects that are lined up?
For us, we look, obviously, cloud technology is quite key on making data accessible to all our consumers. So we want to be very transparent to our consumers and give them accessibility. So cloud computing is a huge thing. Even yesterday or day before yesterday as well, as you know, in UAE, the BeyondByte is starting next week. So all the tech companies are in the country. There's a lot of meetings going on, and I was in one of the meetings yesterday, speaking to one of the leading data cloud providers. They have some exciting solutions in place which we can take benefit of as well. So I would say for us, for the next project, is that we need to work on our cloud computing environment and to getting this data to the market so people can benefit from that. I mean, one is we started off as a price comparison platform, but then we realized we have so much data that we can provide market insights. So can you imagine, you as a consumer having market insights and where to buy the best product, where's the cheapest product, which store has the most accessible of this product type of thing. So that's making it easier for consumers and easier for retailers to compete with each other.
Indeed. And are there any cool, new tech projects that you're looking forward to, that you're exciting to work on, or that are coming up for you?
And again, just mentioned earlier, the AI environment, obviously that's evolving quite heavily. And based on that, I think there's some cool solutions that are coming out, especially in the UAE. That's quite cutting edge in terms of technology. They're bringing out a lot of blockchain solutions as well from a security perspective, as well as in the real estate market. And that's playing a big role. You got all the healthcare industry, and as well as the education environment. So I think we need to just watch this space for now. How these technologies going to take part in each sector. Again, people are still experimenting. It'll be nice to see how quickly people adopt to these. Like I said earlier, that the next generation are quickly to adopt these solutions. So I'm looking forward to anything that's related to AI and the blockchain environment.
Indeed, interesting. And I think ending it to a note, it was an interesting session. I got to know a lot about, what's going into the landscape of technology, into the IT, and as you mentioned, that the future holds more excitement, a bit danger, definitely. But if we can, if we can incorporate it and upgrade ourselves, properly with it, definitely there's a brighter and exciting future for all of us. So thank you so much, Mr. Asim. It was a very easy conversation and interesting conversation with you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure. I'm always happy to share my thoughts, and thank you very much.
Indeed. Thank you so much.